October 29th, Saturday. Because, yeah, she regrets it. I can tell. Because coming morning, the dining hall is a mess with a few of his drunk friends sleeping about. Oh, at least a dozen men and women are scattered about. A dozen? Sleeping like they are in alcohol-induced comas. Even Ozzy is there, sleeping after effects and still clutching a bottle of a 1998 Jamila. No doubt, Lucas served some of his stores and absinthe. Judging by the faint burnt smell, they had set fire to the latter too. Nur Bohemian. There's only so much I can tolerate, as we have Johans retrieve every single one and cat them a cap. And they are everywhere. At the table, on it and underneath it. And some are even in the kitchen.
Nap time is over, Kinder. Time to go.
Like children, outside. And oh dear, does this piss off valet? So he's still a man of silent fury. Although it is a little treat to hear him utter curses in German for the other room. I imagine Luke will be amused as well, if it isn't his guests that are being thrown out. Instead, he's brooding in his seat, walling a stalk of daffodil in between his fingers.
He's energetic, and you aren't drunk. That, or you are getting better with handling your hangovers without your dog hairs. Should I be looking out the window to see if the sky has turned red and if pigs have started to fly?
I am unfortunately completely sober, Hannah.
Did the events of yesterday make you wake up?
And how does it feel not being hungover?
Still miserable.
It'll get better.
Or so they say. You wanted to talk about something?
You know, for once, I wish you were hungover. Maybe this isn't the best time for this talk.
No, please. I do not like loose ends. And this is a bloody ugly loose end.
Then, first things first, I want you to be honest with me, just between the two of us. Without others to impress, without people listening in. Just you and me.
Did you or did you not sleep with Rochelle Lee and got her pregnant?
I didn't get her pregnant. But the thought of having a child with her? Can you just imagine it? Or rather, don't. I can already see it. It'll look like that ruddy pig boy from that Young Wizard book.
I don't care about once upon a time. What I'm asking is if you were with her the other night during my party.
Him not showing up in most of the gatherings I've hosted in the past is nothing new, of course. The one I've had last week is no different. It's merely another thing I've gotten used to between us after things turned sour. But after Rochelle's outburst last night, I won't deny feeling the disappointment. The betrayal. What's done is done, however. So at the very least, I still want to hear the truth from him.
She made me meet with her the night of your party. But I swear, I only agreed to go so that I could tell her I wasn't having none of it. It isn't my baby. I don't even think it's Lee's. Poor bloke. I mean, I probably slept with her once. We were probably incredibly drunk, but that would have been a long time ago before she was preggo.
Are you sure, Luke? You're not making anything up or leaving anything out?
Of course not. I swear it on my mother's grave.
He swears it, he says, as he hands me the flower with such tenderness. And I believe him.
Well, if that's all you wanted to talk about, you shouldn't have made me worry.
For the sake of my sanity and for the sake of our marriage, I'll pretend that you never said any of that. Are you sure you aren't drunk now?
Haven't had a single drop and hating it.
Would you like something to drink? Because I'm not done. I have something else to tell you.
No thanks, maybe I will after this little talk you wanted to have. I already told you, and you already said you believe me that the brat isn't my child. I already spilled that I might have had drunken sex with her once, and you wish to wipe that off your memory.
Still doesn't really rectify it
So
all.
do we have anything else to talk about? Because have at it. I'm all ears.
You're pretty miffed for someone who just admitted to his wife that he's cheated.
And you're stalling. I can tell that incident has you shaken up. So why don't you just spit it out and get this all over with?
I'm pregnant.
What? Come again?
What?
You heard me.
I had a feeling she was.
You've got to be kidding, right?
Explains so much to.
This must be some kind of joke. Are you taking the piss at me? Because, woman, I don't need a second fake pregnancy.
No answering, however, and stays silent, let the matter of the fact sink into his head. His face heats up for a moment before he goes pale. He raised a hand in hopes of asking for a drink, but the morning staff is still busy evicting the last of his inebriated companions, and doesn't even bother to bark out orders, as if he's lost his very voice. Actually, he looks like he's on the verge of hyperventilating.
This is hard. Anna, darling. I need some air. How long have you been?
3 months. And the twins. Although we don't know yet if they're a boy or a girl or both.
Good God! Twins! I'm going to be a father to 2 tiny babies. Breathe, Luke! Breathe!
Goodness, Luke, I'm the one who's pregnant here, not you.
No, don't touch me! Stay away!
A scream cuts off from amusement, and, without thinking, Luke and Rai rush to the foyer. There stands a crazed-looking chief inspector, thrashing about as he tries to make it up the stairs while Johannes holds him back.
What is going on here?
Und tschüss. All the Schweinehunde must leave, including you, Chef Inspector. This one is very problematic and will not leave.
No, you can't make me leave! I need to stay here for her! I need to help her!
Oh, Rochelle? She's probably already at home, dearie. Or she might have already gone and skipped town. Who knows?
Oh, for the love of... There's no point talking logic in him.
I don't think he's talking about Rochelle.
Lee, go home. You're drunk.
Can't you hear her crying? She was crying, just weeping and in so much pain last night. I couldn't help her, drunk sobbing bastard that I am. But my help, she needs my help. Tell your fucking stupid lapdog to let go of me, Luke! Or I'm gonna knock him down and I'm gonna knock the 2 of you down too!
Language! I've already dealt with your wife, so don't make me deal with you, Lee. Or I swear I'll...
Hannah, enough. Don't stress yourself over him. It'll be bad for the twins. So go back to your breakfast and let me handle this, okay?
Are you sure?
Why wouldn't I be? Now, go ahead and do something less stressful.
Go ahead and do nothing. There isn't much to do, it seems. Whenever I step up to the plate and try to take responsibility for something. Perhaps because everything is already being handled by someone hired specifically for their job. And with Johannes overseeing the staff and Luke handling everything else as a whole, it doesn't leave me with much for me. I can even take the job of delegation, because all it takes is a word to one of the senior staff and everything will be taken care of for me. Moving in here a few days ago may have very well been a chore that took the most effort from me. And that didn't take any real effort at all.
Yes, Hannah, go buy a
Buy
mansion in the middle,
of nowhere.
Good idea. Great plan.
There are no dishes to set aside and busy myself with. Any mess left behind is now nearly non-existent. To sit on a counter while eating cake is supposed to be my next plan. Alas, there isn't even one to finish off. And I don't really know what brought me to the kitchen in the first place. It's not like I'm craving anything else, nor do I have any unfinished business left here. But there's a calling to this room. Speaking of calling, why not just do that? Might as well, since I have nothing else to do. At least it will require some effort on my part. With how cut off from the rest of Luxbourne Mansion is, and with how long it was abandoned before we moved in, having a landline is out of the question. The solution, supposed to be, are mobiles, though it isn't much considering how spotty the signal is in the area. It'll take a bit of manoeuvring to get even a single bar as it is. It takes a bit, as I said it would. I have to park my rear on one of the cold towers, but that suits me just fine. Another matter that needs my effort is who to call. She who must not be named, and certainly off the list. Doesn't leave much in the category of close friends who attended the party, along with the category of who else is awake at this early hour. But soon enough, I manage the call goes through.
Hello, Rebecca Gales here. Who's this?
Good morning, Becky.
Hannah? Oh, wait, how did you get my number?
You responded to your RSVP through the phone. It's all saved in here, of course. I thought I'd like to say hi and make plans and get together sometime. Also, I'd love to hear news about your mother and father and about you, my dear. Oh, I hope I didn't wake you up.
Oh, you're good. It's sports day at school today, so I was just prepping for that.
Figures that you'd be a teacher as well. I'm sure your students must absolutely adore you.
Don't know about that.
Mathematics?
History, actually. Anyway, it's real nice to know you've got my number. I was going to ask for yours because Mom wanted to keep in touch.
You could have asked, silly girl. I would have gladly given it to you.
Couldn't, though, because, well, the thing that happened. But really am sorry, though. I gotta run. School, schedule, stuff. Is there anything else you want to say? Don't want to use the mobile while driving.
Oh, of course, of course. I shouldn't keep you. But I wanted to thank you for your company yesterday.
Not a problem.
And for that other thing as well.
What for now?
For what you said to me. With what had happened. It's been very helpful in...
The call starts to go static, much to my frustration. A strange clicking noise drowns out most of her words too. I doubt she can understand what I'm saying. And the line completely dies. I can feel a headache coming along. It's just building up, starting from a light dropping on one side of my head. The static is gone and that helps a lot. But there's still an insistent horrible clicking. Again and again and again. Which doesn't make sense. The mobile's turned off, isn't it? And if it isn't coming from the phone, then where? Looking about, I can't help but let my eyes be drawn to the hatch leading into the wine cellar once more. That's when the clicking stops, and I can hear the crying. That familiar crying from before. What happened the other day when I was told that nobody should have been down there? I try to forget it because of how it unsettled me so. One can hardly do that when I'm looking at the very thing I'm trying to forget. Somebody is crying down there again. But if I leave it alone, it simply won't stop bothering me for the rest of the day. Don't open the door. Please don't open the door. You may have forgotten to lock it with the party going on.
This again? If somebody is pulling my leg, I will not be happy.
No! True enough, all it takes is a bit of a pull to open the hatch. As I look down to the cellar, a sense of uneasiness washes over me. It isn't just a sudden onset of vertigo and nausea, but also the darkness. It's suffocating. And as I look down, it feels as if it's looking back at me. I worry that something will suddenly pull me into the deep. The cries drown beneath the shrieks that start echoing in my head, high and shrill like nails being dragged across a chalkboard. They're all screaming, shouting at me, and I can just feel rage. Help me! She wants to draw me, drag me down, and crush me in the very depths of darkness until there's nothing left of me. The deep abyss awaits for me, for my death. They're all calling for it. This is a nightmare. There's a rope around my leg, and I can feel the rest of me being torn apart. And they're still screaming. I'm screaming. Though it's not my voice that escapes my lips. It claws through, climbing up and forcing its way up my throat like a putrid bile. I choke and I gag, yet I scream and shriek all at the same time. And I'm me, but not me? Holy ships. Alright. Right typing skills to use. Q. Is that it? That's it. It pushes me down to my knees before I'm prone and vulnerable on my stomach. It makes me tumble. I can just feel my whole body seizing, writhing on the floor. Everything and nothing hurts. It feels like I'm on the verge of death. And if I'm not dying, I maybe wish I actually am.
Why are you?
Brains.
Seeing Luke, something snaps back, and I'm able to take a gasp of air on my own volition for the first time in what felt like centuries. I would have rejoiced and cried for his name if the pain still did not wreck my body. Instead, all I can do is stare listlessly as he comes to my side and lifts me up, cradling me in his arms. He tries to get me to my feet, perhaps to take me out of here, but all he's able to do is just get me to sit, make sure I'm not thrashing on the floor. I can still feel my muscles spasm, limbs jerking like puppets on a string. Luke holds me tight and keeps me still, so that I do not hurt myself anymore. Whatever it is that happened, it has my mind feeling frayed and battered. Eventually, the pain dies down into a dull ache, and my own tongue stops feeling like cotton. It's only now that I can feel the wetness on my cheeks, tears streaking down my face. A coughing wrecks my body now that I don't feel like choking, and it just all feels so horrible. But I don't care. I don't care.
Please.
What happened here? Who did this to you?
I don't know. I am so sorry.
Shh, it's all right. You're safe now, Hana. You're safe now.
That was heavy. Well, Zachary's there now, but going to that another time. Yeah. Hannah. Oh. Must be a horrible feeling, isn't it? Feeling like you're being like hanged on a leash. Yep. Oh my god. I did like Hannah's story. What about you? Do you think I made the right choice in choosing for Luke? Or would you have preferred me to take a break instead? But I'm going to replay it anyway to see what endings I'm able to get. But let me know what you thought of it. So yeah. Sorry, I'm still nervous. Still trying to get loosen up a bit. And yeah. Alright, see you next time, guys.